Hello, I'm Juan Davies, Chief Creative Officer at KCTM PBS SoCal, and I'm joined by the newsroom of KPCC and LAist on a daily reporter roundup. How is everyone?
Doing well.
Good, thanks.
And thanks again for joining us, investigative editor Mike Kessler.
Thanks for having me.
Jacob, let's start with you. It has been brutally hot, and it's going to stay that way. Who knows for how long? Tell us about this record-setting heat we're experiencing.
Yeah, I mean, it's been disgustingly hot. It was 104 degrees this weekend where I'm at in the San Fernando Valley, all the way up to 128 degrees in Death Valley, which of course set some records. I mean, the heat is going to break this week, which is good. But I'm also interested in this new information that came out from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, which was about just how hot the start of our summer was. So June. So it turns out for California and the globe, it was the third hottest June on record. And that is consistent with the past 9 Junes in California, which have all been above average. So let's talk also a little bit about long-term trends, because they're really important, more so than one-off events, especially in the context of climate change. And on that note, the past 22 years of the January to June time period, so the start of our year, were above average. And records show that we're warming at about 3 degrees per century since records began here in California. And, there's a lot of implications for that extra heat. So hot heat means more fires, heat-related deaths, especially amongst underserved communities, worse pollution, more water crises, and the list goes on.
A federal judge has allowed immigrant detainees at ICE's Adelanto detention facility to be released in an effort to slow the spread of coronavirus. Ellie's been working on that story.
That's right. So back in April, the ACLU of Southern California sued the federal government, asking ICE to reduce the population at the facility because of concerns over coronavirus. Lawyers said that detainees couldn't socially distance. Well, that case is still working its way through the courts, but in the meantime, a federal judge has ordered that individuals can be released through a bail process. The court is prioritizing the release of detainees who are vulnerable for serious illness from COVID-19. The order is allowing up to 15 individual bail applications a day, which the ACLU has been submitting since last week. Currently, there are about 875 people currently detained at the Adelanto facility. In January, it held almost 1,700 people.
Finally, today, LAist Studios is launching a 7-part podcast called California City. Emily reported and hosted that.
Yeah, so this story is about the town of California City, which is a little Mojave Desert town where for over 60 years, real estate developers have been selling this dream, which is that if you buy land here now, you will be rich one day. And tens of thousands of people bought this dream from all over the world. And many of them were young couples or hardworking immigrants looking to build a better future. But much of the land that they bought is nearly worthless. And the city, which was supposed to be sort of like the next Las Vegas, only has about 14,000 people, and it has hundreds of miles of empty roads. When you go there, I mean, it's beautiful, it's stark, but you really feel like something sort of went wrong here. Like it wasn't supposed to look this way. And for the story, I talked to dozens of people who spent money out there. And most people said it was a huge mistake and they were unable to get their money back.
Emily, that totally reminds me of the early days of the jackrabbit homesteads in the Mojave Desert. Little plots of land, they sold the dream. Hundreds of people came, and I guess we're repeating the same story. And this time is with immigrants coming from different parts of the world instead of the East Coast of the United States. Tell me a little bit more about those immigrants.
Yeah, so the company that most recently was selling this dream in California City is called Silver Saddle Ranch and Club, and they targeted very specific groups of people. So they targeted Filipino and Chinese Americans and Latinos, many of whom spoke English as a second language or they'd recently arrived in the United States. The main character of episode 1 is a guy named Ben Perez. He's a former chef at the Google cafeteria in Silicon Valley. And he spent $31,000 there, which was all the money he'd been saving to open a Japanese teriyaki food truck. And to date, he's gotten none of his money back.
Well, it sounds fascinating. Thank you so much, Emily. And thank you all at the KPCC and LAist newsroom. Thank you for tuning in. Take care of your health, your neighbor, your family, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thank you.